There seems to be an awful lot of sad stories in the news today, and there are thousands missing. Does anybody care? We built a channel where we talk about those faces. Talking News. Kelsey Barrons has still not been found. It has been 2 years since her case first hit the spotlight. Breaking. Chattanooga and Little Valley both behind bars. Sarah Galloway was found. She wasn't found alive. What happened to Sarah Galloway?
It's too heartbreaking to share.
Children are still missing. Children like Dorsey. Nor is she. You just got away with it. Welcome to Talking News. Hello everyone. My name is Debbie. We use big stories to push little faces.
Hello everyone, welcome to Chasing a Murder Talking News. Before we get started, take a moment to subscribe, like, say hello in the comments. Guys, we are covering a story which is going to be a talking news segment coming out of Memphis, Tennessee. I've already uploaded one video which was a quick story on her for Eliza Fletcher, who was kidnapped. She's a teacher, marathon runner, wife, mother, and a granddaughter of a, well, pretty prominent family is what we're hearing. September 2nd, 2022, she's going out for her morning jog. This is routine for her. So it's Friday at 4:30 a.m. She's jogging near the University of Memphis when suddenly a black GMC Terrain SUV is picked up on a security footage camera. According to several news articles who have gone over this affidavit, they say that suddenly a man believed to be Abston runs aggressively towards Eliza, then pulls her into the vehicle where it sat in a parking lot for about 4 minutes. While the security cameras are rolling, no one knows during this time that Liza is actually probably fighting for her life. And I'm still looking into what the motive might have been for Abston. You gotta remember, she wasn't carrying a wallet. She wasn't carrying a purse. All she had with her was her phone and a water bottle. So for me at this time, it's unclear as to why this guy was so focused on Liza. It seems the guy didn't realize, or the struggle was so intense, that he leaves behind Liza's phone, which is crushed, a crushed water bottle, and a pair of sandals. We learned that she was actually forced into this vehicle on the passenger side. And we learned from Daily Mail that Liza is actually a fitness freak. That's what they're saying. And that this is routine for her. This is the route that she usually runs. Liza doesn't return home. And it's sometime around 7:45 a.m. that morning that there are 2 calls that come into the police station with concerns about Liza's well-being. I've often wondered if the husband actually called the college first, maybe looking, getting them to look on security footage what happened this day, because somehow immediately they go to this security footage and they notice this dark SUV and they see a guy race towards Liza and pull her into that SUV. We know that Liza's husband is one of the people calling into the police station worried about Liza's whereabouts. Police are dispatched to the area where she was jogging, where they find this crushed phone, crushed water bottle, and a pair of sandals. It isn't long. FBI is on this case. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigations, if I can speak. And the sandals are sent to the lab immediately. Police immediately take also shots of this grainy footage that they've acquired and share it with the public asking anyone who has maybe had some information about this SUV to come forward. If you have any tips, come forward. They have an idea who this guy is, and they find out through this DNA sample. That's what we're hearing. Guys, this was really quick. And so they start searching other footage of Abston, looking to see if he's wearing those sandals. And they acquire more footage of him wearing those sandals. And I don't have the details in front of me, but I believe they find him footage where he's wearing them days before and the day of the abduction of Eliza. Meanwhile, according to a witness that comes forward later, they're saying after she's abducted, Abston starts acting quite erratic, different, and questionable. He's washing clothes in the sink. And according to witnesses, this sink is at the brother's house, so which we know his brother was also arrested, but not attached to this. The brother witnessed that he was actually cleaning the interior of the SUV, and his behavior was just incredibly odd for him. There's another witness that I don't have a lot of information on at this time. But word gets out that Liza is missing, especially through the community. Liza's kids, who are also runners, they go to a running club, and they go, I think it is twice a week. A few people say that there's witnesses saying that there's people that have been harassing runners at the University of Memphis. And at this time, they're trying to figure out, does that have something to do with Liza's abduction? Meanwhile, police have a good idea of what this vehicle that they see in this grainy footage looks like. They notice that it has these little trademarks that's, pretty much to that vehicle. And so they've got that information out to other policemen, investigators, also the FBI, and now they have a DNA sample that give them a direction to go. And as they study this footage, this grainy footage, they notice that he's sitting there waiting for Liza to run past him before he runs after her. Here's the thing. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right or not, Abston. He has a criminal history. One of those being aggravated kidnapping guys. So this tip that they get from Pine Hills triggers dozens of officers to cover the area, including the parking lot. The goal is to try to find answers of where Liza is. And by the evening, they are searching the Fletcher's home, where they are seen carrying out bags of evidence, including gardening shears, laptop computer, and other unidentified items. Now, that tip that got police to go to Pine Hills, which was yesterday, Sunday, police were seen carrying out a dumpster in the area, which is smart, because as quick as they got on this case, they really didn't give this guy much time to hide much evidence. So what does the Pine Hill area have to do with anything? Well, supposedly this is where the residence is of the guy they suspect wore those sandals, was driving that SUV, allegedly was there when Liza was abducted. And police wrote in this affidavit that it was probable and apparent that Fletcher's injuries left residue in this vehicle. A lot of people are wondering the motive in this, like I mentioned earlier. And so a lot of people are reflecting to the fact that Fletcher's grandfather is a billionaire. Hopefully I don't slaughter this name too much. Joseph Orgel III, the founder of the Memphis-based Orgel Hardware, which is now, I guess they have 11,000 retail stores throughout the United States. Probably the most shocking information is we're learning that this guy that they suspect to have abducted Liza has been charged with aggravated robbery and kidnapping in the past, forcing another prominent figure, a Memphis attorney, into the trunk of a car. That attorney is Kemper Durand. So it makes you wonder, does this guy kind of do background checks on the people that he's, going after? Does he know what he's doing? Does he have, premeditated goals? I guess that's, something they need to work out pretty soon. And like I mentioned in the past video, we really have a very aggressive culture growing in this country, probably all over the world, but specifically we're talking about our home, our country. And there has been at least 100 kidnappings this year in Memphis, Tennessee alone, many of them being robberies. We learned that in this case, that Abston, his residence, which was at an apartment, there was a woman and a child involved in a standoff. Abston tried to flee, in which I don't have the exact details on this, guys, because I've not had time to do all the details on this case. Somehow he gets in a wreck with this SUV, and it's at that point that Abston is actually taken into the custody of the police, and the word detain is used. By Sunday morning, they already had evidence enough to say that this guy most likely was involved with the abduction with Eliza Fletcher, where he had bond posted for over $500,000. He's due in court Tuesday, which is September 6th of 2022. As you can imagine, when the family did speak on Sunday, they were pretty devastated. It was obvious that they were suspecting that there was something more than just an abduction going on with Liza, simply because of the evidence that they're finding inside the SUV. This is horrible because she has 2 young sons. She's a kindergarten teacher that they say made a huge difference in children's lives. And knowing a little bit more information about his background is going to be important. We already know that his brother, Mario, has been arrested, not attached to this abduction, but for manufacturing drugs such as fentanyl and heroin, according to one news source that I cannot remember where I got it from. But it's also Mario that's helping police understand, how he was acting right after Liza was abducted. Now, guys, I'll try to do more on this story later, but I'm in a hurry today, and I want to mention, if you'll please check out these faces. We have other girls out there still missing. You have Dulce, Jasmine Robinson, Summer Wells, Monkey. Please take time to check out their story. And please, guys, take time to subscribe because I work very, very hard to bring stories to this channel. And guys, that's a lot of work. You can support me on Patreon if you want to help keep this channel going. If you don't like me, that's okay too. But if you do return here, make sure that you hit the subscribe button. And make sure if you watch the videos to hit the like button. I want to reach out to all of my Patreons that I have right now and say I love you guys. Thank you so much. And to all the supporters of this channel. I love you guys, miss you guys, and I hope to have more one-on-one time soon. See you soon.